Top 5 celebrities and rappers Wack 100 took on, and how it played out. Wack 100 is one of hip-hop's most controversial figures, a man who can turn an argument on Clubhouse into breaking news by morning. From taking shots at industry giants to claiming behind-the-scenes power moves, he's made enemies out of some of the biggest names in rap. Number 1, 50 Cent, the never-ending LA tension. When you talk about Wack 100's list of beefs, 50 Cent sits high on that chart. Wack has been involved in 50's long-running feud with The Game, one of Wack's clients, and he never missed a chance to keep that fire burning. It started years ago when Wack went public, claiming that 50 Cent wasn't as tough as his image suggested. He said 50 had to check in every time he landed in LA, and bragged that he and his team once pulled up to 50's hotel to confront him. According to Wack, when he saw 50's crew, he backed down, comparing them to Navy SEALs with machine guns. But Wack didn't stop there. He accused 50 of exploiting BMF's legacy, saying 50 was profiting from real-life pain with his BMF TV series. He even claimed 50 Cent was milking BMF dry. He claimed that he personally arranged peace between 50 Cent and The Game, saying he met 50 several times and put both men in the same room 3 or 4 times to squash their issues. At one point, Wack even told a story that Suge Knight had warned Birdman about him, showing just how far the tension and rumors spread in those circles. The back and forth eventually died down. 50 Cent never responded aggressively. He mostly ignored Wack's jabs, and Wack later claimed he and 50 were cool now. They've even been spotted in the same venues, which suggests at least some truce. But fans still remember the time Wack tried to test 50 and learned he wasn't backing down from anyone. Number 2, Gucci Mane, I Ain't Arguing on the Internet. Next on the list is Gucci Mane. The Atlanta legend dropped a subtle but sharp diss at Wack 100 in his 2023 single Bluffin, featuring Lil Baby. The line was short, but it hit hard. I ain't arguing on no internet. I'm not Wack 100. It was the perfect jab, a direct shot at Wack's reputation for being constantly online, arguing on Clubhouse, Instagram, and podcasts. Wack didn't take it lightly. Within hours, he fired back on Instagram, saying he was dropping a diss record titled Knock Off Gucci. He even told fans to stream Gucci's track before he answered the disrespect. He wrote, "Don't worry, we family, but I'm gonna handle that in the booth." Gucci didn't respond publicly, and no diss record from Wack ever dropped, at least not one that made it to streaming platforms. But fans saw it as another example of Wack inserting himself into rap drama that didn't need his name. Gucci ignored him. Wack got his brief moment of headlines, but the internet sided with Gucci. The message was clear, and it's the fact that Wack's reputation for internet arguments had officially become part of hip-hop slang. Gucci didn't have to say much. One bar was enough to label Wack as the guy who talks too much online. Number 3, Boosie BadAzz. You not built like that. When Boosie BadAzz speaks, he doesn't sugarcoat things, and neither does Wack 100. So when these two collided, it was bound to get messy. The issue started after Wack 100 defended Gunna amid snitching allegations tied to the YSL case. Boosie had already publicly said he'd never work with Gunna again, calling him a rat. But Wack took the opposite stance, arguing that Gunna never directly snitched on Young Thug and that people needed to read the paperwork before talking. Boosie fired back in an interview, calling Wack a Clubhouse gangster who talks too much for someone who claims to be street. He said Wack always defending rats and that real ones don't argue on the internet all day. Wack, being Wack, jumped on Clubhouse and went off. Boosie got selective politics. He mad cause I said Gunna ain't tell. I don't follow no street code that don't make sense. I do business. I'm a manager. He accused Boosie of being hypocritical, claiming Boosie still worked with people who had similar allegations. The argument spread quickly, with both men trading jabs in interviews and online clips. Wack insisted Boosie was out of touch with the business side of the industry, while Boosie kept hammering that real men don't defend rats. Eventually, both men moved on, but the damage was done. Fans saw it as a generational clash, Boosie representing the old school street code, and Wack standing for the new era where business outweighs the code. Neither apologized, and both stood firm. The beef cooled down naturally, but the clip of Wack yelling "Boosie don't know paperwork" still floats around social media every time Gunna's name resurfaces. Number 4. Drake, the industry plant accusation. Now believe it or not, Wack 100 even went to Drake, one of the most untouchable artists in music. In a 2022 Clubhouse conversation, Wack claimed Drake's career was manufactured by the machine. He called Drake an industry plant, saying the rapper had never been through real struggle and was handed success by the label. He went further, saying Drake is a pop star. He's not hip-hop. He don't stand on nothing real. That's all corporate marketing. The internet immediately blew up. Fans dragged Wack for trying to tear down one of the biggest names in music, accusing him of jealousy. But Wack didn't stop there. He brought up Drake's long-standing feud with Kanye West, saying Drake never really wanted smoke with Ye. According to Wack, Drake only trolls people he knows won't do nothing. He picks safe beefs. Wack also inserted himself into the Pusha T Drake beef, saying Drake lost that war badly, and that no matter how many hits he drops, that diss record from Pusha will always haunt him. As usual, Drake didn't acknowledge any of it publicly. He stayed focused on his music, and the story faded after a few weeks. The result? Wack got attention for stirring controversy, but Drake completely ignored him, making Wack look like he was reaching for clout. Even other industry insiders laughed it off, saying Wack can't call anyone an industry plant when he's the loudest one in the room. The Drake situation showed how far Wack was willing to go just to keep his name in the headlines, even if it meant targeting rap's biggest superstar. Number 5. Kendrick Lamar, the too quiet for the streets argument. One of Wack 100's more surprising takes came when he went after Kendrick Lamar, not for controversy, but for a lack of it. During a Clubhouse chat, Wack claimed Kendrick don't speak up for the streets and ain't outside like that, saying Kendrick is a great artist, but he ain't no voice of the people. He hide in their studio. When it's time to stand on something, he go ghost. This came after Kendrick dropped Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, an album about personal growth and spirituality instead of street politics. Wack said Kendrick was too deep and talking over people's heads, implying the streets couldn't relate. Fans instantly pushed back, arguing Kendrick has done more for hip-hop and black culture through his music than Wack ever has. But Wack doubled down, saying, Kendrick talked that woke stuff, but he ain't never in the trenches. Nip was outside every day. Kendrick somewhere meditating. Critics called the comment tone deaf since Kendrick has quietly supported several Compton community programs and purposely stays out of drama, something fans respect him for. Kendrick never responded. No tweets, no interviews, just silence. Fans clowned Wack for trying to bait one of the calmest artists in rap, turning the whole thing into a lesson in restraint. In the end, it showed the clear contrast, Kendrick's quiet influence versus Wack's loud presence. And that's the story with all his beefs, whether it's 50 Cent, Boosie, Drake, Gucci Mane, or Kendrick. Wack always finds a way to get under someone's skin. Sometimes it's business, sometimes ego, but it always ends the same way. Wack gets the attention, and the other person moves on. Love him or hate him, Wack 100 has carved out his lane in hip-hop, not through music, but through conflict and controversy. From surviving federal whispers to constant online spats, he's turned chaos into a career.